Welcome to Language Power Learn Norwegian in 17 years. This course is an exclusive course for members only, a very expensive course for people who really want to be Norwegians. People who come to Norway each year on the Viking festivals and feel that this is where they belong, as Jeppe. Jeppe is a Satanist and worshipper of Odin and Thor. But to understand these gods, he needs to understand what they say. And that's why he have 17 years. So when he's around about 70 years, at the same age as Odin, but Odin is like in dog years. Odin is always portrayed as like a 70-year-old, 60-year-old, but it's each year is 1,000 years, maybe.
Oh, wow.
Just ask me anything about the ages of...
that was the highest energy intro, I think, we've had.
Thank you. And today we're also going to talk about something energetic. Because, you know, when you're freezing, you lose your energy. So how to preserve your energy inside your body. And there's one thing that Norway is very proud of. And part of Norwegian, being a Norwegian, and being, what do you call it? Something Norway is very proud of, actually. That's wool.
Wool, indeed. It's weird, actually, because when you told me about this episode, I just thought, I'm not going to have anything to say, because before I moved to Norway, I think I had zero respect for wool. I just didn't wear it. And then as soon as you do move to Norway, you realise how important it is.
It's important because Norway is one of the most coldest countries in the world. So you need wool to stay alive, to keep the energy, as you said. I wasn't wearing any wool today, so I had lost a lot of energy, and the intro became a bit because I'm wearing acryl.
Acryl?
Yes, acryl.
Acrylic?
Acrylic, yes. And acryl is plastic, and plastic is oil, and it's bullshit. So wool is some of the things that Norwegians like to identify themselves with, and they want to be the expert on every occasion when they're abroad. Oh, you're talking about wool, are you?
Let me tell you about the wool.
In the sheep's language. So, yeah.
Do Norway get called sheep shaggers then? Like Welsh people do in the UK?
Norwegian call themselves sheep shaggers, depending on where you are from. But it's a common expression. You fucking sheep shagger.
Do you have like the expressions like back it up to the edge of a cliff so it pushes back harder and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, that's yes, and there are lots of enruters telling here where that happens. One route. So Norway has exploited the sheep in every way.
Oh, I see.
Sexual, and there is a very strange newspaper article I read. I think 10 years ago, a local paper. It was two guys, didn't know each other, and they were sitting on the train on their way to North Norway. They never met. They just sat next to each other. And I don't know what they talked about, but after a while, both of them agreed on that sheep fucking was a great thing to do. So they both ended up fucking some sheeps on a farm, and they got caught by the police. Yeah, Norwegians. Never met each other. So how does the conversation end up with, yeah, let's do that. Let's go.
How does it even start in the first place? Because the idea that two Norwegians would talk to each other on the train when they'd never met is impressive in the first place.
Very good, Jimmy.
Well, no, it's true though, isn't it? What Norwegians do you know that talk to strangers on public transport? Obviously, sheep fuckers. That's the answer, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it doesn't represent the public, but
well, yeah. Either way, talking to people on public transport is not Norwegian. from what I've seen, and neither's...
Trains, it is common because then you're stuck there and you know that the only way you can because you can't avoid the person sitting in front of you. So then you need to like, hi, you like to fuck sheeps? No, just chickens. I see. Well,
have you ever thought about sheep?
I just have sheeps with me. So wool is very important. Wool production has been a very important thing in the Norwegian economy and the agricultural stuff. So in Norway, they even breed sheep just for the wool.
Yeah.
In other countries, it's often opposite. You eat the animal and, there's some wool here. Yeah, go and make a hat.
Yeah, I think the only other places that are really care about wool and sheep like that are New Zealand.
Yeah, New Zealand is very good.
And maybe the UK. I would say that. The UK, the farming there. Yeah, those are the ones
I'm the expert here.
Yeah,
I know.
Sorry.
So in Norway, they're very big on quality wool. I think that they're probably the best country in the world with wool.
Of course, of course you'd say that.
Why would I say that?
Because you're Norwegian.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter about the wool. It's just to Google it. You know? Yeah, I don't think you'll find New Zealand in the top first or UK. You'll maybe some fish and chips, but not quality wool.
All right.
But that's also because there is a
Norwegian search engine, or
this is the coldest place in the world, and so there's very easy to check if your wool works or not. It's just to wear it and go outside.
Yeah.
So you have that, and it's the coldest country in the world. So there's and the wool is a very important symbol for that they have that quality product, and they have lots of products like the Marius Genser. You heard about that?
Marius Genser? No.
Yeah, Marius sweater. It's a traditional knitted sweater with patterns with thin stripes in different colors and like geometrical figures, squares and stuff.
I think I have one. I have one of those jumpers.
You do, yes.
I really like that jumper. It's really nice. It's really thick and it's very nice in the winter, actually. Bit itchy.
Yes.
Yeah, you itch a lot wearing it, but I'm so hairy anyway, it doesn't really notice too much.
The itchiness is a big problem with wool. And you have another product, it's like votter. You know votter? You wear what?
Votter?
You have a handsker.
I don't know, handsker or
gloves.
Okay.
But the gloves with just one, no fingers, just one big...
okay.
Mittens.
Yeah.
Is that what they
Mittens,
call?
Yeah.
Mittens. So mittens
fingerless gloves.
From Selbu. Selbu is a place, Selbu votter.
Selbu votter.
That's a classic, Norwegian classic. There's mittens from Selbu, and it's knitted in two colors.
What do they... Where is Selbu?
It's up there.
Up in the north?
It's a couple of hours drive from here, 3-4 hours.
Oh, like Asgard?
Asgard is a place in the Norrøn mythology. I don't think it exists, does it?
Oh.
But it's Selbu is very nice. And you have lusekofte.
Lusekofte, that sounds like a food.
Lusekofte is like a sweater decorated with small because lus means lice.
Lice.
You know lice that you have in your hair?
Yeah, like head lice and stuff.
Lice. So it's actually...
I don't know personally. But.
It's actually lice. It's decorated lice. It's been
That must be very intricate. You got to catch the lice, let it die, kill it, and then decorate it.
Or just make a... it's not integrated into the sweater. It's lice motifs. And it's been old motif since the 1800s.
So you've been celebrating head lice in woolen patterns?
I think that's celebrated, but it's
it's enough to want to put it on a jumper or something.
It's got a interesting shape, but I don't know why the lice.
Yeah,
probably because people were full of lice back then, and they wanted to scare the small lice with the bigger lice. I don't know. But lusekofte, that's a very famous Norwegian flag. So every time there's a celebrity from US, especially comes to Norway, Americans, like big artists, often there's a stupid gossip magazine, or they give them a lusekofte, a sweater with those lices, and take pictures of them. So they get pictures of themselves with that sweater in the magazines.
That's cool. Yeah, I can't imagine them, like 50 Cent came over though and they gave him like a lusekofte.
Everybody, if you Google 50 Cent and lusekofte, you'll probably find the picture, because that's what they do. And you will probably also find the headline of that case is Friend of Norway. It's called Norgesvenn. So everybody who's been here in Norway 1 time, 2 times, 100 times, they're friends of Norway. You know, when people go on stage and they say, hey, nice to be here.
Yeah.
You know, when I do stand up, no matter where I am, I'm in hell, or that's the opening. Hey, very nice to be here. Hey, Oslo. And in Norway, they take that personally, and they think that, oh my God, Michael Jackson really loves Norway and Oslo, because he said it in the opening. Nice to be here. And in the newspapers, once you touch that sweater, you know, I throw that sweater at you, you're a big artist, and you're like, what the fuck is this? On the pictures, you're a Norway friend, and you are using Norwegian products. So that's I think something the government also is standing behind and supporting.
Sneaky beaky.
Throw the lusekoftes and the Selbuvats against Snoop Dogg and see how he reacts.
Steps off the plane, quick, hit him with a lusekoft, throw it.
And the Snoop has also got one, and I think he's probably smoked it too. But there is one, what do you call it, the contradictionary?
Contradiction?
Yeah. And that's very interesting. That is, wool is, great product. But there is another product which is better than wool, the Norwegian heritage wool, and the pride of Norway, and which the Norwegians are now going for.
Oil?
And not oil, it's in the same business. It's alpaca.
Ah, I love alpacas. They're so cool.
Yes. Have you ever slept with one?
I once walked through what I thought was an alpaca farm, but it was the other thing. What the other animal? It's not alpaca.
Dromedar, camel, llama.
Llamas, yeah, but it was a llama farm, and they attacked me.
Because you tried to shag them.
I thought I could cut across this field to get to where I was living at the time in Cornwall, and I thought it was an alpaca farm, and they're quite docile, quite nice. But it was llamas, and the fucking bastards attacked me, spat on me. Like, I ran across the film. I looked like Arnie from The Predator when he covers himself in mud. By the end of it, I was just an absolute mess. I was.
And did you say to the alpaca, "You one ugly motherfucker"?
I did. It was a llama, and I was too busy trying to get away from it. I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" Getting chased by llamas. It was grim.
Yes, and the llamas and alpacas are like they have better wool.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, much better, because it breathes more, and it's softer, and the most important thing, it's lighter. So whenever you're wearing alpaca garments, you almost don't feel that you're wearing anything, and it's just as strong and better and more beautiful. It's more shiny, and that's why it costs more, of course, too.
Do you think you'll get Norwegians on the train at some point saying that they want to fuck an alpaca then?
They are on the train now, because they're on the way to the farms to fuck them, because now Norwegians are breeding alpacas.
Ah, so there's the Norwegian alpaca fucking society as well.
Yeah, and that will change the whole Norwegian cultural identity. And they have big time putting the alpaca in their identity, because alpaca is obviously a South American animal, and you can't just suddenly, this is us, we were here first. But we talked about
alpaca follicle.
It works in your dialects, alpaca fårikål. Alpaca kål.
Alpaca kål.
Yeah. Doesn't work. But, we talked about that in 100 years, everything is forgotten.
Yeah.
And you don't know, the South Americans will say, we got the alpaca first. And the Norwegians will say, no, we got it long time.
What you on about?
What do you think? Odin rode on a horse or a sheep? No, he had an alpaca.
You silly South Americans.
So there's another thing also with alpaca, which is quite interesting, where there's no competition at all. It's elastic.
What, the wool is elastic?
Yeah, it's more elastic. It's
that does
50 to almost not so far away from 100. No, yeah, not 50% more elastic.
Are they easier to farm?
Do I look like a farmer?
You said you were the expert.
Oh, sorry. Yes, they're easy to, not as easy as a sheep. It costs more. They have longer legs, so you can the stockings are more expensive.
As a part of cultural change, then step ladders will become more popular on Norwegian farms because obviously you need to stand on something when you're fucking an alpaca.
We got lots of Norwegian listeners. So most of them are Norwegians, and
are they on farms fucking sheep? Or
oh my goodness!
Sorry, Norway. I'm not sorry.
So yes, so there it's coming. It's coming. It's coming, and it's fucking up the Norwegian identity stuff because
Those
alpaca is really good.
Alpacas coming over here.
And there's another thing also I just remembered. There's lots of things with alpacas. Of course, they have. You talked about that wool directly to your skin. It's itchy.
Yeah.
Alpaca doesn't itch.
No. What if you had one right in between your shoulder blades and you can be like, can you just give me a...
Then you need to ask the alpaca. But it's you can have it directly on your hood.
Head.
Your body skin.
I do that with normal wool though.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Because you're a sheep or what? It's itchy. It itches, Don't you forget that.
Oh, sorry.
So
do you think you'll get like you sometimes get those we don't want foreigners in our country protests
from the sheeps?
It'll be about alpacas. These alpacas coming over from South America, taking all our wool jobs, that sort of
and
thing.
our identity.
Yeah, stealing our identity with
our
their
cultural heritage.
Wool.
What will be the next? Ostriches?
Yeah, it's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah, they're past that debate now. Now alpaca is...
They had the debate about alpaca versus sheep and...
No, the sheeps had the debate about it.
Oh.
I'm in your world.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, the sheep managed to get a debate done faster than Norway and actually made a decisive decision. That's impressive.
It's always the best quality for Norwegians. And Norwegians are willing to throw everything in the garbage can if they find something which is of better quality. So it's always quality. And once the quality loses, they throw it away.
Yeah.
So if you go to a Norwegian garbage disposal, and for example, any other country, you'll find that many things in the Norwegian dustbin can. You can still use those things for many, many more years. But it's just a bit... color is not the same as it was. It's not as shiny, or it's ut av mote. It's not fashion anymore. So
yeah, I like people remaking things these days. I do like that. You see people upcycling a lot more, and that seems to be quite popular in Norway, and I do get behind that.
So what's popular here is the big containers where you have here you can throw your kjøleskap, you can throw your radio or whatever.
What's a kjøleskap?
Fridge and the freezers and everything, electronic, for example.
Yeah.
They throw it, and then the Polacks come and they put them in their cars and they drive with all the stuff to Poland. And in Poland, you can use those things, fix them, and use them 3-4 more years. And when they're done in Poland, then someone from an African country comes and get them, and you can use them a couple of more years or take out the motor and build something out of it, something else. So it's and that happens all the time.
Well, it's probably going to be starting to happen a lot more just around the world, the way things are going.
Yes.
I think, was it scientists? So we have 7 years left to fix the climate, so it doesn't matter. Different episode, although it's Wool.
7 years. It will be in the middle of our podcast show then.
Yeah.
Because we got a lot of... but the 3-layer principle, that's if you want to really become a Norwegian, then you need to know about the 3-layer principle. That's something every Norwegian knows about.
Really scientific. It's quite cool.
So you've heard about it?
No, I've never heard about it. I'm guessing it's just wearing 3 different layers of clothing.
3 different layers of clothing.
Yeah.
That's the 3-layer principle. And it's the technique which is about dress in layers
so like
when it's cold outside.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah, that makes... I mean, it's pretty common sense. You're not going to see someone wearing a jacket and then put a jumper over the top of that and then a T-shirt on top of that, are you?
It's not that easy.
No.
The 3-layer principle is the right type of clothing that is combined with each other to give the maximum protection against the weather. So the inner layer you have against your body should be wool.
Yeah.
That's very important. And it needs to be thin. So so it can breathe to transport the moist away from the body.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So you should have a thin layer of wool against the body directly, which is easy to transport away humidity.
Yep.
And then the second layer is isolation. And isolation is very important, of course, for the cold, to keep the heat. And for isolation, you use fleece.
Yeah,
which is like a big, thicker, more fluffier kind of a sweater or something. And it will keep the warmth.
Yeah.
And then you have the third layer, and that's that could be anything, but that's basically just to protect from wind and rain.
Yeah.
So if all those layers together, then but this is mostly for people who are what do you call it?
Visiting Norway.
Opposite. Friluftsfolk. So
Leaving
it's totally Norwegians who like to go out for long hiking tours and mountain.
The insane ones.
The crazy ones,
Yeah.
like the local inhabitants,
Yeah.
Norwegians. So as a tourist, you don't need to think about any of those things.
You just suffer. So one thing I do notice about Norwegians and wool is they love knitting. Norwegians are mad for knitting. Like I saw a thing the other day. There was a knitting cinema in the local town where they put like low light on in the cinema, so you can sit there and knit while you watch a film, which is pretty cool.
Wow, where was that?
It was in Horn. I saw it. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I mean, have you ever tried knitting anything?
No, and I don't know any men who knit.
Oh,
it's more like a female thing.
See, I did once. I tried to. I didn't try. I knitted for the missus. I knitted her a scarf and a hat for Christmas because she said, "Oh, just make me something." She'd said it for years. Just make me something. I'll be happier with that than a present. So I thought, do you know what? It's been about 4 or 5 years since I did that. I could wear it today to today's episode. We could get some pictures with it, and I could be like, "Oh, look, there's this thing that I knitted." And honestly, knitting is bullshit. It took hours. It's like the worst thing for my ADHD I've ever had to experience. It was so boring that I felt physical like stress. And I asked her where it was, and it was under the bed in storage, all of it. So she doesn't even wear it. So it's been all that fucking time and stress trying to make this bullshit fucking scarf and hat. So I'm swearing I'm annoyed. And then she says she doesn't even use it. So
you should work with your communication.
Yeah, well, it's either that or just, guys, if your girlfriend said, just make me something, I'll just be as happy and I'll use it just as much. Don't. Just go and get some jewellery, because then it's smaller. It's going to take up less mess in the house, and she might even wear that. I mean, I'm not upset about it or anything, but, you know.
There's a message from abroad.
Hi, my name is Chris. I'm from Croydon. My question is, what do Norwegians think about Harry and Meghan?
What do Norwegians think about him?
Yeah, I didn't need to repeat that one. It was very clear, wasn't it?
I have no idea. I don't think. Well, none of my friends care about the subject. I think they care. I have no idea. Well, the headlines are the same as in UK, but not as big as. But they're. I have no idea. I don't. I don't have any friends who are interested in that matter.
Even like from an English point of view, no, like just watching people. I tried to engage someone in a conversation about their opinion on it, and it was the exact same. They were just like, meh, don't care, not my royal family. It seems a bit dramatic, which is fair enough, really.
Yeah. So I haven't seen the Netflix. Seriously, but I just feel like a very boring persons.
There you go.
I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, they don't really feel at all.
They're boring. And the Norwegian royal family and the members, they're not boring. They have a lot of stuff going on. You have a princess who calls herself a witch, and she's with a guy who can cure cancer by the touch of his hands. And you have some other members who have their controversial stories. So it's things.
Yeah, but I bet you don't have a paedophile that's not a paedophile because they weren't there, do you?
I have no idea.
I bet the Norwegian family doesn't have any, people that don't sweat in a Pizza Express.
Well, I have never heard about that sweating problem, actually, that you don't sweat. Like, or I've heard it with pigs. Pigs read that they don't.
That's for the
sweat.
pork episode, not the wool episode.
Yes, but but that dancing queen, he lost all his. He's not in the royal family anymore, is he?
No.
Now he can do whatever he wants. Now he can finally sweat again.
Oh my, that's horrible.
Isn't it good? Norwegian food.
So, for the first time ever, we're doing Norwegian food before word of the week.
Yes, we've changed it a bit because we got a lot of messages from our fans to say that why can't you change? We want the Norwegian food first.
Which is ironic because by the looks of it, there's been no Norwegian food prepared whatsoever.
Well, the fish cake is yours.
The fish cake.
Fiskekake. That's
one.
A Norwegian. I realized that you had the fish cake before.
Yeah,
I didn't think about
it. For me,
it.
I thought that was just there on the desk.
Yeah, it's for you, but this fiskekake is different than the last.
How is it different? It looks exactly the same.
Yes, it does, but it's the ingredients that are blended in the blender that you can't see.
So what different ingredients are in it?
Well, the last fish cake you ate was like a cod cake with hyse, another weird fish.
Yeah.
And this fish cake is the same, but it's made with some.
You're making this up, aren't you?
I haven't said anything.
Okay.
It's a fish cake.
So
I'm
what's
trying to make up something, but I'm.
So it's just the same fish cake from before, from the same.
Not
place.
the same because you ate that. This is a bit different. It's made. Of course, it's made by a man.
Oh, this one's made by a man.
Yeah, the other is homemade from women working at the catering. This is a guy who made it.
Oh, homemade from a guy.
Yes, it's on the. It's on the box if you buy it. Do you have a guy made? Fish cake, so it's a bit slight different texture, taste. Semen.
So
Semen.
the only difference.
It's his name, Semen.
Semen. Brilliant. So I'm going to eat Siemens fish cake.
Sorry. Yes. So it's a bit different. But I made a mistake. I didn't do enough research and didn't listen to we have had fish cake before. I'm sorry.
So
let's just do this then.
Only difference I can see on this fish cake is
Siemens
ketchup.
Yes, it's
you just give me a cold fish cake
with some ketchup
on it.
Yes, but the ketchup is Norwegian though. It's not
it's Norwegian ketchup. Yeah,
the best of the best ketchup. I don't know what's popular ketchup in England, UK. Heinz. This is Overgård. This is better than Heinz actually. Overgård. It's go over en høygang. It's it's superior.
How about this? How about I just taste the ketchup, and then
taste the ketchup.
I don't have to eat the cold fish cake.
Idun is the best ketchup, and it's all Norwegians agree on that there's no competition. There's another Norwegian ketchup also called Mills. Yeah, but Mills is very cheap. Heinz is very good though, but Idun is Idun.
Do you know why I think Mills is probably very cheap? Because their main factory is in Drammen, isn't it?
I'm not sure. They make different products. So you have Mills caviar, you have Mills mayonnaise.
I remember working when I was doing the construction. We built an extension on a Mills factory in Drammen, and it's.
You worked in Drammen as a construction worker?
Yeah. We did some construction there. We built a like a giant refrigeration warehouse for more mill stuff, and it stank every week. It absolutely just rotten eggs. Like from the factory next to us, it was horrible. That
if it was rotten eggs, it wasn't a tomato ketchup factory.
Yeah, it might have been pate.
Mayonnaise, maybe, but the mayonnaise is in Oslo. So this is ketchup.
Okay. All right,
what do you think? What do you think about the taste?
All right, give me a second. I'm just licking a fucking fish cake. Yeah, it's ketchup.
Yes, and it's a very good ketchup.
I thought the first price cheese was going to be the worst thing we do this season, and then you give me blood pudding that was supposed to be warm and fried.
Yes.
So I get that, and it's like a mousse, and it makes me sick. And now you've just given me the same food that you gave me before, equally cold in the terms of fish cake, but you put some ketchup on it.
It's because my employers, it went. It's not me who takes it's over my head. It's the people who produces this. They said that you're too easy on Jamie. Try to.
So it's the producer's fault.
It shouldn't be so easy to come into Norway. Give him ice cold blood pudding, swine blood, and make him drink that. And if he survives, okay, you can make a couple of more episodes, but they need to be.
You just need to ruin my life, basically, with food.
Yes, and make you consider twice if you want to stay here, because it's not like it's not a paradise, as the advertisements say to immigrants. It's
okay. Well,
this is the music every immigrant think of when they come to Norway. But I don't have enough pads to make a horror movie.
I was waiting for you to press another button to see which one you was gonna. Maybe the bell, the alarm bell.
It's gone.
You got rid of it.
Word of the week. So this is Word of the Week with Jamie Andrews, Jeppe Andreasen. He is going to tell me this word that he has been been thinking about with his ADHD, repeating it with his Tourette's. What's the word?
Well, I should say the word is disappointment after that, but actually the word
disappointment. That's an English word.
That's not the word. It's kaksa.
Kaksa. That's Finnish, from Finland.
Kaksa. Kaksa. K-A-K-S-E. Kaksa. And it means rich. Yeah, it means rich poser.
Ah, kaksa. Has anybody called you that? Or
no one's called me that, but I noticed... so it was weird. My first day in Oslo, when I flew over to the country,
yes,
everyone was either wearing a suit, obviously because of work, or they were wearing pretty normal sort of day-to-day clothes. I went to Bergen the day after, because that was where I was staying for a few weeks in a hostel, And literally on my second day in the country, within like 5 minutes of getting off the train, I see this very, very blonde guy hanging out of a limousine window, wearing a blue suit with a cigar in his mouth, a red baseball cap on backwards, and waving like little Norwegian flags. Mm-hmm. And he just looked like an absolute prick. And that was what a lot of people were wearing. I don't know if it was a special day. It wasn't anything. It was August, so I'm not sure there. But there was just loads of guys dressed like that, or people in sporty clothes. But yeah, the other thing that I noticed guys wearing there a lot, they would wear a baseball cap on backwards again. They'd wear like some chinos and a shirt, and then they'd wear a jumper just hanging over their shoulders like an absolute...
Yeah, that's a perfect definition of a kakse.
It just
there are
looks
lots of kakses.
Yeah. They were just like, they were everywhere. In Bergen, actually, and Sandefjord. They're the two places I've seen them the most.
In Sandefjord?
Sandefjord, Bærum. When I've been in Bærum, I've seen people wear
Bærum,
like
yeah. That's a typical kakse with pastel-colored sweater over around his neck and
I don't get it.
A stupid shirt. And it's just some 80s fashion show.
Yeah, but why would you, I mean, I know mullets are making a comeback weirdly at the moment as well, but it's just... I don't know. It really it annoyed me, so it forced me to learn the word kakse.
Kakse, yeah.
Kakse, and it sounds like it suits them. The word kakse.
Kakse, yeah. It almost sounds like a Finnish because kakse in Finland they speak
and you can really spit the word out. That's why I like it. Oh, you kakse. Oh, do kakse.
It's like a short for cocksucker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kaxi.
I mean, it might as well be. I mean, I don't think there's anything inherently wrong in cack sucking.
But if it's a typical rich people or people, kids, rich guys, blonde rich guys.
Dress like an idiot and really show everyone.
But I think if somebody gave me $1 billion, I wouldn't wear that around my neck, but I would buy a cape.
See, a cape would be so much
cooler. I would
cooler,
go further.
It? A cape would make so much more sense. And then I'd walk around with my sword facing my elbow and just use my elbow forward like I'm stalking around a theatre or something like that.
I wouldn't walk. I would build escalators all over.
That could be the next big thing, though, to get everyone to Horton. Just escalators everywhere.
Yeah, escalator to Horton. Yeah. 16 hours, but you don't need to. It's free.
Yeah, you just sit there.
Escalators is the key to everything. You know, if you have escalators, everybody can go everywhere. So you have the roads, and next to the roads, you should have this rulletrapp.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Then I would go everywhere.
Yeah, just escalate.
Yeah, and it doesn't need to go 100 kilometers an hour. Just a normal köpecenter mall speed.
Yeah, whenever you have a problem, you can just escalate it. Boom, boom.
There's a message from abroad.
Message from abroad.
Yes,
again.
You see the dimension.
Is someone not remembering what buttons are what? So if you'd like to please like and subscribe to our social media, which is mainly Instagram and Facebook. We've got a group on Facebook, a page on Instagram. That would be lovely. If you've got any questions from abroad, please let us know on there. And thank you very much for listening. Also, one last thing before I go. It was a 4 on the dice, the ketchup, and a 6 on the level of disappointment. Love you.